We've reached a critical point where Donald Trump no longer cares about political consequences. He's not running for re-election, and he's taking bold aim at the very institutions that have long enabled corruption. The left, people should remember, is capable of anything. After everything we learned or should have learned about the Russia hoax, falsified FISA documents by Kevin Clinesmith, the disgraceful career of James Comey, the lies about Hunter Biden's laptop being Russian disinformation, the FBI's year-long silence despite having the evidence, its collusion with Twitter to censor news, and Antony Blinken's orchestration of 51 intelligence officials to mislead the public. Where are the apologies? They never say we were wrong. Instead, it's a constant pattern of deceit. And why? Because they hate Donald Trump. He's the first Republican in decades to launch a full-scale, 24/7 counter-revolution, not just on border security, but on the deeper mechanisms of how these institutional distortions emerged in the first place. He's targeting the court system corrupted by lawfare, the tax-exempt foundations posing as nonpartisan while pushing ideological agendas, and the universities rife with racial bias, foreign funding, and disregard for First and Fourth Amendment rights. He's examining the student loan racket, violent campus activism, and the institutional media like NPR and PBS, which normalize radical ideas without majority support. That's why they fear him. Not even Reagan or the Bushs went this far. Polls reflect this shift. Despite what legacy media claim, a large percentage of Hispanics and African Americans believe Trump was doing a good job. Why? Because many Americans are exhausted by divisive identity politics and tired of the DEI ideology, which assumes certain people are permanent victims and therefore exempt from responsibility. We saw this dynamic play out when Fani Willis made dubious excuses about cash payments and misusing government funds, implying criticism of her actions was racist. Letitia James, too, leaned on racial identity as a shield against scrutiny for misconduct, all while punishing Trump with an enormous fine. Meanwhile, controversies like the Caitlin Clark-Angel Reese altercation in women's basketball have become racialized, even when the root issues are competitive sports or media narratives, not race. The left seems to believe that victim status, real or claimed, justifies any behavior. Jasmine Crockett complained that brilliant black women like herself are overlooked, ignoring that figures like OC are leading in the polls. She dismissed others as safe white boys, a racial slur that would spark outrage if reversed. Ilhan Omar has made inflammatory remarks about white men being terrorists, a statement loaded with racial animus. This growing resentment against double standards is fueling Trump's message. He's reframing politics in terms of class, not race, connecting with working-class Americans of all backgrounds. He tells a Hispanic painter, "I understand you better than elites like Chuck Schumer or AOC." He offers more concern for inner-city black families than the politicians who claim to represent them. The Democrats, after years of ridiculing and marginalizing working-class whites, are now facing electoral backlash. If Trump can achieve a breakthrough peace deal in Ukraine, the Middle East, or with Iran, and if the economy improves, he could flip seats in ways not seen since 2002. People like Marco Rubio, who speaks with clarity and strategy, are rising as trusted allies. Trump sees Rubio and J.D. Vance as potential leaders, articulate, experienced, and aligned with his anti-globalist vision. He's moving away from endless wars while emphasizing decisive strength, as seen in actions against Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, or the Wagner Group. Rubio shares this approach: strategic deterrence without reckless intervention. In foreign policy, Trump's logic is blunt, but effective. Regarding China, he notes, "You have 11,000 Americans in China and 300,000 Chinese students here. Why?" China sends its youth to gather technological expertise, skipping years of domestic R&D. Trump's response: "If you manipulate our economy, spy, or bring dangerous pathogens, we will shut you out." With South Africa, he highlights the hypocrisy of a government demanding racial quotas while taking hostile UN stances against Israel and America. He reminds them, "You broke Mandela's promise of reconciliation. Don't ask us for deals if you despise us." Trump's doctrine is simple: America doesn't need to apologize anymore. Unlike past administrations, he's leveraging energy, innovation, and national interest. He's tired of subsidizing NATO while Europe lags behind in defense. He's tired of Chinese spyware, South African land grabs, and foreign nations undermining American strength while benefiting from it. On immigration, the numbers are staggering: minus 8,000 illegal crossings per day under Biden, totaling over 12 million in 4 years. The courts are overwhelmed. Many newcomers disregard the law, discard trash in orchards, and avoid accountability. Enforcing the law on law-abiding citizens while ignoring violations from others creates dangerous contempt and division. As for Elon Musk, he stands as a misunderstood genius, modern America's Edison, Henry Ford, and Alexander Graham Bell in one. He saved NASA, democratized internet access through Starlink, revolutionized space travel with SpaceX, and gave the world the most advanced EVs through Tesla. Yet the left vilifies him because he refuses to obey their ideological purity tests. Finally, Trump's fight is not only political but existential. He sees how district judges, the lowest tier of federal judiciary, can now override national policy with activist rulings. The system is unbalanced. Judges, cherry-picked for their radical views, disrupt foreign negotiations with the stroke of a pen, facing no consequences even when overturned. It's not sustainable. Trump knows it. His blunt style may offend, but it exposes rot in institutions that have hidden behind prestige and double standards for too long.